and welcome to Joanne's Healing Within. I am your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified holistic personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, a student of astrology, master of numerology, the creator of the Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast deck, a mother, a wife, and I'm here to help you see the best version of who you are. I'd like to remind you to share, like, and comment on today's show. And for those of you who've missed any episodes, you can catch us on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and YouTube. I'd like to give a big shout out to all of my advertising sponsors who make this show happen week after week after week. There is a flyer with all their information. I'm just going to run through their names as quickly as we can because we have lots to cover today. We'll start off with Kendrick Greer, who's our astrologer. Diana Brad, who's our small business consultant. The Three Crones and the Woo Woo, which you can catch us on Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Nick Rafter, who's our real estate agent. I'm sure you'll need to connect with him soon, and journalist. And then we have Sherry Simpson, who's our intuitive coach, intuitive guide. And then we also have Rihanna Sun. She's our subconscious mind specialist, intuitive business coach, and the co-creator of the Alignment Academy. And last but not least, we have our amazing Natan Bradley, who's our Mystic Master Teacher, founder of the Mystic, Warrior Academy, which is my guest, by the way, for today. But we'll get into that in a little bit. So I always like to know, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Two really different questions when you really think about it. In regards to how are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing with yourself with the pandemic? Are you being productive? Are you really doing some soul searching to figure out what it is you're going to be doing once things start to unfold and move into a different direction? As it very well will. And many of us may actually be starting to feel that vibration shifting as we speak. That's the doing portion. Now, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? I'd like to invite you to get in touch with your emotions. Recognize what's actually going on within you, and what are you really experiencing, and how many of those feelings that you're carrying are really yours. As after all, we are all energetically connected, and because we're energetically connected, we tend to pick up the collective energy. So I'd like to invite you to take a moment every day to ask yourself, is what I am feeling really mine? And how do you know the difference between if the energy you are holding on to your energy, or if the energy you're holding on to you've picked up? Now, I do want to make a notation that you can pick up energy in so many different ways. It's not just about coming in contact with somebody, whereas if you're in the store, you're in that energy. You pick up energy when watching TV, when listening to the radio, and even when you're reading the newspaper. So it's really important to be mindful of what you're feeling, and is it yours? Because if it's not yours and you're not mindful of it, you're walking around with XX energies that's weighing you down and preventing you from being the best version of you. So here's a quick tip on how to determine your energy versus someone else's energies. To start off with, asking yourself when you first wake up in the morning, giving yourself that tune-up, so to speak, in reference to checking in. How is every part of my body feeling? Am I functionally moving? Does it hurt when I walk? Does it hurt when I bend? Does it hurt when I twist? Does it hurt when I hold things in my hand? And if obviously you're getting a check off of everything feels good, then physically everything feels good. Then check in. How are you actually feeling on an emotional level? Are you waking up feeling happy and excited and looking forward to the day to unfold? Or do you wake up feeling miserable and wanting to really lay back in bed and just stick the covers over your head? And if that is the case, it's really important to develop a mindful practice of aligning your energies. So throughout the day, and I can only share from my own experience, I know that when I happen to walk into a store, how I feel before I walk into the store energetically and emotionally and physically, sometimes I do not feel that same way when I walk out of the store. So for me, my hips yes, I said my hips are a major indicator for me. So when I walk in the store, I always check in on my hips and say, how are my hips feeling right now? Are they loose? Am I able to walk with ease? And once I leave that store, how am I walking? Are my hips tight? Does my back hurt? Because the hips and the back are connected. And if there is any impairment going on at that point, then that gives me an indication that I've picked up energies that's not mine. And right away when that happens, I know immediately how to um, release the energy. And a lot of it is just about energy healing in regards to allowing you to rub your hands together and then just visualizing that activation in your hands, separating them. And I place my hands on both of my hips to allow that energy to start to be dispersed out and release. And then I call in good energy. And usually it works within a matter of 5 minutes when my hips start to feel better. And that's that mindfulness of knowing that I've picked up other people's energy. And you do need to check in on a regular basis. It's not one of those things that you could just check in once in a day and call it a day. Anytime you're surrounded by energies of others, or you happen to be watching the news, or you're listening to something, check in on your energy. That's what I'm leaving you with. I do want to connect with our cards to see what we need to focus on regarding our chakras, because that's a huge complement regarding our chakra system and becoming more aware of balancing your energies and recognizing if there's any chakra that needs your attention, should that one chakra be a little sluggish. And make a note, every single day, every hour of our day, it's very possible that a chakra can go from being balanced and moving to all of a sudden getting stuck and sluggish. So it's really important to check in on your chakras also. And if you're not really sure how to do that, feel free to reach out to me, because that's what I do with my clients. I help them work on releasing the energies that do not serve the chakras. And you can easily reach out to me at my email, which is healingwithin76@gmail.com. So let's see what card we have for today. Interesting card. And I feel like we had this last week. I don't know why. I feel like this card showed up last week. But anyway, the card of faith. Faith. When you think of the card of faith, how does that sit with you? Are you trusting faith? Are you trusting that you're exactly where you need to be? Are you in the alignment of knowing that whatever is going on in your life, externally and internally, it's exactly what needs to take place to get you to where you have to go? When you can step into that space of trusting that process and believing that it is faith, that there is a higher purpose, there is a higher calling, and everything is already pre-written. Everything is pre-written. There was no surprises here. It's just that you need to get your vibration and frequency in that alignment so you can match what it's already written for you. So having the faith is really important, very important. And the meditation and the prayer practice is helpful to having faith, where you can make that connection between yourself, your higher self, and higher power, and really align yourself with your team, what I like to call the spirit team. The chakra for today is your heart center, helping you to release out any heavy energies. This year, 2020, has been a very challenging year. And I use the word challenging in reference that it really has helped each and every one of us to open our eyes and recognize what it is we need to be doing on an individual base. And I don't use the word challenging meaning that's a hard year. Challenging means that we have been literally told to get off our ass and start doing something. Challenging yourself to come out of your comfort zone and doing something totally different as opposed to your normal routine. That's the challenge of 2020. And when you can get into that heart center and start to feel more grateful and appreciating and gratitude of what's going on in your life and where you are and all the amazing gifts that you do have, that spiritually you have, then that lightens up your heart to be more peaceful and calm and happy. And that again goes into faith. Your number here is 5 and 6. So when we think about the numbers in numerology, 5 carries the vibration of change. So yes, we are all being encouraged and inspired to change who we are, change the things that we do so we can be in perfect alignment to what it is we are supposed to be doing, being as spiritual beings. That 6 energy is is in regards to when we do change and we change in that alignment that we need to be in, we will begin to heal from within as opposed to looking for healing on the external. We have the wisdom. All you need to do is use it. 5 and 6 is that 11 energy. The 11 is your message that the gateway between the physical and the spiritual realms are so thin. The veil is thin, which means it opens up the gateway for you to connect on a higher level with your spirit guides. You have questions, you have concerns, connect with your spirit guides, connect with your higher self, connect with your higher power. And for anyone who's crossed over, whom you know, connect with your loved ones as well. They, your spirit team, will support you. And know today that anytime you see the number 11, it's reminding you that you are here as a spiritual being having multiples of human experiences. And that's what we're all here on this earth to do. Have multiples of human experiences. So that 11 energy is your reminder that you are a master healer. You just have to learn to master. With that being said, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When I come back, I'm going to have my guest here, and I look forward to sharing more with you. Remember to share, like, and comment, and I'll be right back.
Hi everyone, I'm Natan Bredbury. I'm a veteran, Kabbalist, mystic, coach, and spiritual mentor. I have been blessed to help many students on their spiritual journey over the last 20 years. I am currently the founder of the Mystic Warrior Academy, and what we're doing is we're helping veterans heal from the inside out, overcome any sort of emotional trauma that they've been through. So if you're a veteran, a therapist, or a coach, and are interested in learning more about our program, you can contact us directly at info@mysticwarrioracademy.com. Blessings.
Hello and welcome back. For those of you who are just joining, I am your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, and I welcome you to our show, Joanne's Healing Within. And reminder, share, like, and comment. And because you did miss the first part of our show, you will need to go and check out Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or even YouTube. And just want to do a quick recap on our card for today, because I think it's important. The word of the day is faith. Faith. With all that every one of us in the last 9 months have been going through and experiencing, faith, I'm sure, is very high in everyone's order right now in reference to meditating and praying, but recognizing that every one of us is exactly where we need to be right now. And everything we've experienced in the last 9 months and continuing to experience is taking us to where we need to go. There is no accidents, there's no coincidence, everything happens for a reason. The chakra associated is the heart center. So it is really important that you step into that space of gratitude and appreciation, because when you do, that opens the heart for you to feel excited and happy and blessed. Your number is 5 and 6. 5 is all about the changes that we're all undergoing. 6, with those changes, we are all healing on a much deeper level, working into that 11 energy, which is your gateway of knowing. We are all here as spiritual beings having a human experience, and the physical and the spiritual realm is really thin, giving us the opportunity to walk into that gateway to connect with our loved ones, our spirit guides, higher self, higher power, and all of our angels for the wisdom that they have for us. It's an invitation. I ask that you take it. With that being said, I'd like to introduce my amazing guest who's been here before, I think not last week, but like the week before, Natan, yes? Did I say it right or wrong? I got it. Yay! Natan Bradley, yes. And he is the founder of the Mystic Warrior Academy. And we're going to start with that first, but then we're going to dive into another subject matter, which is about quantum reality. But first, let's go into the Mystic Warrior Academy. Let's talk about that and what inspired you to do that. And then you could tell us what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I believe I mentioned touched on it just a hair last time we chatted, but the inspiration for the Mystic Warrior Academy really that was born out of my own personal journey, right? So, I've spent was actually looking at it last night. Oh my goodness, my spiritual journey's been at least 30 years. um, just the number of things that I've studied, what I've gone through as part of my path. But a couple of years ago, I had a moment where I actually had some time to myself. I had time to stop, pause, and breathe from the chaos that can be life, right? And in those moments, I took to really delve deeply into my own meditative practices, which opened up to dreams and visions and some of the things that um, I previously hadn't been open to. But the idea for the academy is let's bring in individuals that have been through trauma, right? And trauma, when I talk about trauma, I'm not saying necessarily in a physical sense. I'm talking trauma more in the sense of you've been through a traumatic experience, right? And you've got that energy really lingering with you, whether that's sexual assault, whether that's you've been in combat, post-traumatic stress, feeling guilty over surviving an incident that killed other people, right? And so, especially within the military community, we don't really have those tools. We're not taught those tools on how to cope with that sort of trauma. In fact, the military is quite the opposite, where you're treated as an asset, you're treated as a machine, you're conditioned and trained and conditioned over and over again.
So no
Um,
time for crying, huh?
there's no time for crying, there's no time to process. In fact, in those quiet moments after you complete a mission, um, that's when most of us turn to drinking. Just being completely honest, the vast majority will turn to the bottle. Um, there's a statistic that's been out for a couple of years. 22 veterans commit suicide every day.
Oh, wow.
Um, the number is actually quite higher, but the reason for that is the lack of coping mechanisms. You get into that downtime, and then all those emotions, all those thoughts come flooding in, and if you don't have the tools, which is what we're working to provide with the academy,
Mm-hmm.
such as a gratitude practice, rebuilding your sense of self-worth, finding your purpose again, taking personal responsibility for your actions, right? Instead of giving away your power and saying, oh, well, I was in this incident and I'm going to blame this person, or, this person did this to me, or this was done to me. No, that's not the case. You have to retake your own power and be responsible for your actions in that environment. So that's
Exactly.
really what we do, right? We're retraining, rewiring the brain for people that have been through traumatic events. Now, I do want to be absolutely clear. This doesn't take the place of someone who's in crisis and ready to pull the trigger right now, right? That's absolutely not. Our academy, what it's set up for, is for people who they've reached a measure of stability in their life, right? But they realize that they've got these issues to work through, and now it's time to start working through them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit further down the road than that immediate crisis point, in
Yeah.
which case, I recommend reaching out to National Suicide Hotline or the VA, right? Something professional mental health therapist to get through that crisis point. But once you've got through that crisis point, then come see us, and then we'll help you work through and release a lot of that trauma.
Now, the question that comes to mind for me in regards to the academy. Now, I know that, and maybe you did, but I know that you didn't just wake up one morning and say, okay, I'm going to put this academy together, and poof, it just happened. So, for anyone who's thinking even about wanting to put an academy together, what is the process that goes through the time that is involved in putting together an academy?
So this took almost 2 years. So from the initial vision to hiring a business coach to bringing to putting some form to that vision, even just getting it down on paper, right, out of the head and onto the paper. That was like step one. And then step two started in with, okay, what should we teach? What should we talk about? And then I looked at my own journey. Some of the things that helped me were a gratitude practice. I'm absolutely astounded at the number of people that don't have a daily gratitude practice.
Yes.
It's become part of my daily life. That's a huge thing we teach. Self-confidence, grounding, right? So grounding, especially when you've been through trauma, is huge. When you're in the moment, you're feeling yourself overwhelmed by sights and sounds and everything else. To be able to ground yourself in that moment, to ground your energy, to be calm and remain calm, is a huge asset, right? So that's something else we teach. This process, like I said, it took a couple of years to really bring to fruition. It took reaching out, finding experts in each of the different fields. I reached out to you for several things, really. Um, in all honesty, right?
Yes,
But
it's all good.
looking at my network, and that's another thing I learned how to do is really connect with people, right? So look at the different people I'm connected with and say, okay, you're an expert in this area, you're an expert in this area. Let's pull everyone together, and can you teach this? Can you teach that? That's after I had gone through and developed a 2-year curriculum, right? So once I had developed the core idea of this is what we teach and this is what I want to teach, then I started reaching out and coordinating with experts. I pulled together a huge team. We're sitting at probably 24, 25 people right now in total to support the academy, to support our mission.
That's
Um,
beautiful. Yes.
People from all over the U.S. We've got an instructor in Israel. We've got an instructor in Australia. So really, it's become a global movement.
That's
I guess
beautiful.
would be a good term
Yeah,
for
that's
it.
beautiful. We do need to take a commercial break, but before we do that, let our viewers know how they can reach you.
Absolutely. So if you're interested in supporting us with the Academy, if you're a veteran, we'll be soon taking first responders. Please reach out to us at info@mysticwarrioracademy.com.
Awesome. And there's a flyer there that has that information as well. We're going to take a quick commercial break, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Brianna Sun, and I am the co-founder of Alignment Academy and Executive Excellence. If you are ready to start a thriving online business around your mission, or you're ready to take your life and business to the next level by clearing subconscious beliefs and other blocks that are in your way, then the Alignment Academy and Executive Excellence can assist you in that process. If you are ready to truly skyrocket in your life, please do reach out to me at aligned@thealignmentacademy.net.
Hi, my name is Diana Brandt. I'm a business consultant. If you always wanted to be an entrepreneur and you've got these dreams, you no longer have to have them in your head. I help you with the steps. I'm offering a 15-minute complimentary call, and you can reach me at diana.caremore@gmail.com. Thank you for the opportunity.
Hello and welcome back. For those of you who are just joining, I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, and I have my amazing guest here, Natan, who is our founder of the Mystic Warrior Academy, which we were just speaking about. And just to recap, you were saying that you have a large amount of people working with you in putting this amazing academy together. And how long, when one actually signs up for the academy, how long is the academy that they're actually signing up for?
Sure. So the initial entry, I guess you could say, into the academy is the boot camp. So the boot camp is it's a 4-week process, really to integrate you into the way of the Mystic Warrior, right? So the first 2 weeks, we cover the code of the Mystic Warrior, and topics such as honesty, integrity, humility, compassion, respect, and discipline, right? And so those 2 weeks, I would say, are the most crucial weeks of the boot camp, where you really start to embody those values. That's a huge part of it. And then, week 3, we go into nutrition. We do a basic overview of what it means to eat healthy, to live a healthy life. And then week 4, we go into movement, physical fitness. Again, it's a basic overview, just a reminder to be fit, be healthy. And then once you complete that, then you really start your training with the academy. You begin at level 1, and then you work your way all the way through level 5. Start to finish, it will take you about 2 years to complete. If you choose at any time, like you want to stop at a certain level, you're absolutely welcome to do that. There's no requirement for you to complete start to finish, but you'll get more out of it. You'll definitely, the more
And
you
all the courses, lectures, etc., are all virtually and independent, correct?
Yep, everything's available to you online. The way it's set up, you cannot rush through it. So you have to complete each course at a time, right? So if I go through and say I want to complete all 9 courses in level 1, I need to complete course 1 before I can move on to course 2.
Yeah, that would actually make sense.
Well, it is. It depends on the training system, but that was a key component for me. I didn't want people to just watch the video and rush through it, because if that's the case, you're not going to get anything out of it.
Exactly. And in regards to each video and going from one class to the next, one level to the next, each person can do it at their own pace. So let's say someone who does, they do the diligence of watching each video and then moving on to the next, they could do that at their own pace. It's not as though they have to connect with you to say, I'm ready for the next part.
Correct. They also have direct contact with each of the instructors, right? So if they're going through the course, and just to be clear, it's a class video, but there's also worksheets, right? So there are things that the student has to complete as they move along, but they'll have direct access to the instructor if they've got questions about the course, they need help with something, or they don't really quite understand what's being asked of them, right? So it's not like, okay, here's your course, good luck.
You're on your own.
You're definitely not on your own, right?
Exactly.
So,
Yes. Whereas if hypothetically, based on my studying skills, my habits, when I do an online course independently, I need to know that I have access, that if I need to reach out to the instructor to ask a question, I need to know that I have that access to do that. In fact, I've been doing a lot of online courses over the last, give and take, 2 months or so. And it's a really interesting learning technique of having to chat and them asking certain things. It's like this chat going on, then, yeah. I'm like, can't we just get on the phone and talk? They're like, no, that's not available. I'm like, oh, so this is all going to really be through either chatting or email, but no actual. And to me, it's like, it would just be so much faster. You can answer all my questions in probably a half hour time versus all this back and forth. But that's just my styling, my studying techniques. But anyway,
Right. Well,
yeah.
no, and there's a lot of power in just hopping on a phone call, right? So that is one thing we do have available. We do have Zoom available. So if someone needs to jump on a Zoom call, we could definitely make that available, and you can have that direct interaction
Oh, that's
with the
awesome.
instructor, right?
Yes.
So it doesn't have to be a completely virtual um, environment, but yeah, the old days of hopping on the phone.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
I'm old school like that too in
Yeah,
many
I'm so
ways.
old school. It's like really relearning how to, adapt to these new ways of doing things. It's like, what? You want me to do what? Like, I don't know how to do that. And interesting enough, I've been really good at being able to admit that, you know what? I don't know how to do that. So is there another way that we could do this so I can move on with this process and learn what I need to learn, you know? Anyway, so
Yep, yep.
now let's dive
Get it.
into our next topic, which is actually the title of our show today, which is all about quantum reality. Now, what is quantum reality?
Oh, it's one of my favorite topics. So, quantum reality is actually the reality in which we live. So many people think that what they see in front of them is real, right? This is the physical world, what I can see, what I can taste, touch, smell, right? Using your five senses. That that's it. Like there's nothing more to it. The truth is, if you study quantum physics, you'll learn that quantum reality means that, and it ties into spirituality and the supernatural as well, but there's more beyond just what you can see, right? You can access quantum reality, and say for example, here's a perfect example, right? um, the bond between a mother and a child. um, if something happens with a child, where the child's in danger, the mother feels it, and it's almost instantaneous. Sometimes, in some cases, it is. That's quantum reality. What that is there's a connection between the two that enables one to experience what the other is feeling.
Hmm. Now, would that be so for mothers and children who were separated from each other, whether it be after the birth, the mother chose to give the child up for adoption, or even, the relationship between the two are not the best, so they have a disconnection? Does that still work in that way?
So, in my experience, what I've learned, while playing with quantum physics and playing quantum reality, it's actually kind of fun. Um, is that the more connected you are to an individual, the deeper that connection, the more of an impact that can have. So I can't necessarily speak, and it's not limited. Let me be very, very clear. It's not limited just to mothers and children, right? This ability to connect can be done between any individuals or anything, really. So, for example, a person can be very connected to nature,
Hmm.
right? That would be one really good example where you can feel and experience what's going on while you're walking through the forest or swimming in the ocean, right? Another example would be we'll use a couple as an example. Okay, so two individuals. Um, Hopefully they get along well and they have a deep connection. I know it's not always the case. Um, but if
That's
they have
sometimes
that,
why they come together, is because,
true,
they do have that deep
right?
connection as that quantum energy that pulls them together for the two of them to actually work on whatever it is that they don't get along about. Because sometimes that happens that way too.
That's very, very true. And then it becomes a matter of, working through um, the physical world to enable that deeper quantum connection, right? So,
Exactly.
so the quantum connection is here I am. I'm in Texas. You're in New York. Yet we can still connect in the quantum field. I can send you emotions, right? So if I'm experiencing emotion, I want you to experience the same emotion. I can do that for you, right? And likewise, it goes vice versa. It just depends on how connected the two individuals are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost as the whole process of when you're thinking of somebody and all of a sudden your phone rings and it's that person. And you actually
Exactly.
say to them, I was just thinking about you. That's so weird. Or even better, you're thinking of somebody and then within a few minutes or a half hour or so, they're literally in front of you. It's like, I was just thinking about you. Like, how did that happen? So yeah, so it does make a lot of sense, in
It,
reference to the quantum reality,
exactly.
you know.
Exactly. And it's had so many different labels. People put so many different labels on it, and we need to do that because we're living in a 3D world, and we need to be able to describe what we're experiencing. But it's been called different things like telepathy or psychic powers or your intuition, or right. I mean, all these different things. But in reality, what it is, it's the two individuals that have this connection. It's basically like a phone call, right? So if I'm thinking of you and I have a strong connection with you, well, pretty soon that person's going to reach out to you, right?
Exactly. Exactly, exactly.
So
It's
so
yeah,
that's a big
yeah,
part of
it's
it.
exactly, which is why, like, when we think of the quantum reality and we think about energy in itself, I know, like, one of the biggest conflicts, not conflicts, I guess conflicts, concerns, whatever, is all like the Reiki work that people do and the distance healing, where people have such a challenging understanding of how powerful distance healing really is compared to when you actually work with the clients hands on. From a lot of what I've been told, a lot of what I've heard is that when I work with someone distantly, the energy work that they receive from me from a distance is so much more powerful than if they were standing right next to me. So again, it's that energy, that reality of the connection one has, which is powerful.
It really is, and there's so many different facets to quantum physics and quantum reality.
Yes.
We could spend hours and hours talking about it,
Yes, which
but
which we're going to dive into the next question, which is, I think,
sure.
going right into what you're saying is, how do you access this quantum reality?
Ooh, okay. So first step is awareness, right? You have to be aware of it. Um, you have to understand that there is more than what is in front of you, right? If I'm of the mentality that the only thing that's real is what is according to my five senses, then I'll never be able to access quantum reality,
Yes.
right? But once I attain a greater awareness and say, well, there's more beyond just what I can see, taste, touch, and smell, then you can get into the quantum field. Personally, I access it through entering a meditative state, right? So I've been meditating for a long time, 20 years plus, really. So for me, I can slip into a meditative state, and then I can um, play. Really, I mean, there's so much that you're able to do once you access the quantum field. You can do Reiki healing, which is energy work, right? Quantum field work. You can travel to different places, different time periods. Um, there's a lot. There's really a lot you can do, and the only limits are your imagination.
Exactly.
That's one thing I should add to that too, and the reason why the only limit is your imagination is because what the quantum field is, it's the world of infinite possibility, right? So it means that um, anything is possible in that environment. Um, The only thing I need to do is put my focus on something, and then it becomes real.
Exactly.
And so that's what the quantum field is.
Exactly. It's almost like that expression, um, energy goes where attention flows.
Exactly.
So if you're focusing on something specific, bad or, negative or positive, because again, the idea about the energy is there's no difference between the two. So if you're focusing on something and you keep saying, it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen, and it's not going to happen.
Right.
But if you're focusing on something and saying, wow, this is what I see, this is how I'm playing it out, I can feel it, it's positive, it's great, and I feel excited about it, then it's going to happen.
Yep.
And to take it one step further from, that whole process of setting the energy and focusing is acting as though it already is.
Right. And, I struggled with that for a while. It's like, how do you act as though something is when it isn't, right?
Exactly.
And so what I've learned through my experiences is being able, again, closing your eyes for me is huge, because it's that much easier to release yourself from any sort of limiting belief, right? So closing your eyes and feeling it as though you're going through the experience, seeing it play out in your mind, right? That's how you really draw that energy in, and that's how you draw it to you, because
Exactly.
it's all about what you attract, right? Like you said, where your mind is, that's what you attract. And so what quantum physics teaches is that in the world of the infinite potential, nothing happens until you observe it, right? But then once you observe a thing, then that collapses and that becomes the single reality.
Awesome. Awesome. Like when we think about the whole process of, as we were saying, about having to act something out in order for it to come in, one of the tools that I offer my clients, especially for those who are looking to be in a relationship, because many people they want to be in a relationship, and they're so busy focusing on how much they want to be in the relationship and why it's not happening. They don't realize that by focusing on why it's not happening prevents it from happening.
They're actually
And
pushing it away.
exactly. So what I usually suggest to my clients is when they're sitting to have dinner, especially if they live alone, when they're sitting to have dinner, set up two actual plates. The plate for themselves and the plate for the other person. Obviously, you don't have to go to the extreme and putting food on the other plate, but just setting the intention of putting another plate down and setting the environment as though there's another person there with you. And having that moment of imagination that other person's actually there. Because the more you do that, the energy becomes more aligned. And before you know it, that other person's going to be there with you.
Absolutely. You absolutely got it, right? It's being able to drive that focus into manifesting or creating what you desire into the physical world, right? So what I've learned through my journey, my experiences, is there's three main components to, we'll call it manifesting, right? So the first is you have to believe it, and then you think it. The second is you have to feel it, right? You actually have to feel that emotion, what it feels like. And then the third is you have to act on it, right? So we live in the world of action. This is the physical world. So you can't just think the thought and hope it's going to happen, because it doesn't work that way, right?
Yes, yes.
But once you complete that additional step, and once you have that action, that's when you see things really start to happen.
Exactly. It's very similar to what they call the law of attraction.
Yeah.
Knowing there's two amazing books that I've read in the past, and it's a possibility you probably read them too, maybe not. One is The Secret, and the other one is Ask and It's Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks. And they both
Right.
carry this principle of the law of attraction is ask, believe, receive. And we're really good at asking for things, our intention, but we're not so really good at the follow-up in reference to acting on it.
Right.
And it's like, for example, you want to order dinner and you call your favorite restaurant and you place the order. The average person is not going to call back the restaurant and replace the order 5 times. The average person is going to believe they placed the order and it's going to arrive, the door is going to ring, and the delivery man is going to deliver their dinner.
That's a perfect example. Yep.
Whereas unfortunately though, as humans, what we tend to do is we set the intention, but then we don't believe that it's going to come. And because we don't set the action, but what we're doing instead is we're putting out all the reasons why it's not showing up. And it's like you said, that pushes it away. So we are really our worst enemy when it comes down to the process of the quantum reality of how to access and how to live your best life and how to have all the amazing, beautiful blessings that every one of us deserve to have. Because we all can have, if one has the desire to want to be a millionaire, that the desire is there. So because the desire is there, that means it's available to them. So all they now have to do is act on it. You had a desire to want to have an academy. Now you have one.
Right. Yep.
So it's just acting on it. So yes, I'm glad that you had shared that insight, because I think our viewers really need to know and understand and believe that they are powerful enough to create the life they truly want to have, because it really does all start with a thought. And once they have that thought there, you can finish that sentence for me.
Yeah, once you have the thought, then you again, taking it to that next step, feeling the emotion, right? Put yourself in the moment of what it is that you wish to achieve, right? And I want to be very, very clear. The universe is not your magic genie, right? It's not, you know what? I want to drive a Lamborghini. I want to feel like I've got a Lamborghini. And then when I open my eyes, I'm going to see a Lamborghini in front of me, right? It totally doesn't work that way.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. I mean, hey, you know what? Somebody can go to a Lamborghini shop and test drive one.
Absolutely.
And that's the action, because now they're
Right.
putting themselves in the reality of the action behind it. And then over time, should that be something, again, I think we need to make this clear too, should that be something that actually serves their purpose?
Exactly.
Then they'll see that reality. But if it doesn't serve their purpose and it serves their ego, it's not going to manifest, because it's not purposeful. And I think we need to let our viewers know that too, because there is this thing of manifesting something that's all for the ego as opposed to the purpose. And if it's not for the purpose, it's not going to serve you, so you're not going to probably manifest it.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yes.
Exactly right.
Yes. With that being said, please let our viewers know how they can reach you again, because we do have another commercial break ahead.
All right, outstanding. All right, everyone, you can reach us directly at info@mysticwarrioracademy.com, or you can find us online at www.mysticwarrioracademy.com.
Awesome. So for our viewers, remember, we're going to be right back. We hope that you stay with us. We're taking a quick commercial break.
Hello, my name is Nick Rafter. Though it may not seem like it, now is actually a good time to sell or buy a home, and I can help you with that. I'm a real estate agent with great knowledge of the markets in New York City and Long Island, and I can help price your home and get it sold, or find you one at a great price. I can also help you rent as well. So give me a call at 347-610-9765 or at nrafter@corcoran.com. Let's find you the perfect home.
Hi everyone, I'm Natan Bredbury. I'm a veteran, Kabbalist, mystic, coach, and spiritual mentor. I have been blessed to help many students on their spiritual journey over the last 20 years. I am currently the founder of the Mystic Warrior Academy, and what we're doing is we're helping veterans heal from the inside out, overcome any sort of emotional trauma that they've been through. So if you're a veteran, a therapist, or a coach, and are interested in learning more about our program, you can contact us directly at info@mysticwarrioracademy.com. Blessings.
Hello and welcome back. And for those of you who are joining, I am your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne. I have my amazing guest, Latan. He is our founder of the Mystic Warrior Academy. And you're going to have to come back and watch us on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or YouTube because you missed an amazing episode. And we've got so caught up in our episode that we literally have about 5 minutes to this segment. So what I like to do, Nate, is offer you a reading. Are you open to that?
Absolutely.
All right. Let's see what you need to hear for today and what chakra perhaps you need to work on to open up energy and explore and explode to your next venture. Let's see what we got for you. Interesting card. Communication. Communication. And what I get from this card is about communicating more about what it is you're doing. And I don't know why, maybe you need to just really like spread this word out even larger than you're spreading it, is what I'm hearing.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm actually hearing, is really spread it out more. The heart chakra, more about self-care, self-love, nurturing yourself some more. Like I have a feeling the experience you had last week with your children, not to get too involved with it, I think you were a little harder on yourself than you needed to be. And I think you need to be a little more loving to you, because shit happens, you know?
It does.
You know, and you're a really great dad. So yeah, don't beat yourself up so much. Your number is 1 and 2. So 1 is all about a new way of doing things, a new way of communicating. I don't know. I'm going to have to meditate on this one a little bit more because there's something that's showing up. It's just that I'm not seeing it right now. But there's something else. Another way you're supposed to communicate. And I'm going to have to get back to you on that one.
I think I know.
Oh, you do? Tell me.
I started writing a book.
Ah, there you go. There you go. I was like, there's something you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
awesome. Yes. And that 2 energy. The 2 energy is the partnerships. All the partnerships you have coming in. They're awesome. 3, all the things you are creating. You're doing amazing. And I'm hoping you're receiving that. Are you receiving?
Oh, yeah. Right here. Yep.
Awesome.
100%.
Awesome. Very good. And again, like I said, this segment had to be a shorter one because we got so engrossed in the last one that we lost track of time. So let our viewers know how they can reach you one last time before we take the final commercial break.
All right, everyone. Thank you. Really appreciate you watching the show. You can reach us a couple of ways. Best ways, email info@mysticwarrioracademy.com. Also, check us out online at www.mysticwarrioracademy.com.
Awesome. And Nate, I'm sure we're going to have you back for the new year. Hopefully you'll accept my proposal and we'll get you back here for 2021.
Yeah. I'd love
With that being said, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break and then I'll be back to wrap up our show.
Hi guys, I'm Kendrick Cortez Greer, personal astrologer and astrological counselor here in Brooklyn, New York. I've been an astrologer for over 23 years now, providing astrological readings, counseling sessions, workshops, and corporate events all throughout the tri-state area. I've been very blessed and lucky to have clients all throughout the United States and beyond. If you're interested in a reading that is warm, heartfelt, honest, and conducive to speaking to one of your best friends, please contact me at 917-863-7528. You can also email me at kendrickstar@gmail.com. That's Kendrick, STAR@gmail.com. And for you Insta people, find me on Instagram at Kendrick Cortez Astrology. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Toodles.
Hi there, my name is Sherry Simpson. As an intuitive business guide, I help female service-based business owners to grow their business using their intuition, helping you to release the blocks and limits preventing your growth and allowing you to get the aligned action steps to take to grow your business. You can reach me at sherry@sherrysimpson.com, SHERRI @sherrysimpson, SIMPSON.com. I look forward to helping you grow your business soon. Namaste.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are joining now, I am your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, and I'd like to invite you to check us out on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and YouTube. As you missed an amazing show today, I do hope to have my guests back on as we move into 2021. But with all that being said, I'd like to remind you, or invite you for that matter, I have two amazing programs going on. One is it's a long name, guys, so hold on. Chakra Balance, Numerology, Cosmic Energy Forecast course. It's a 5-week course. You'll learn how to use my cards, which will help you to learn how to do 1, 3, and 12 card readings. Read for yourself, but more importantly, even read for others. And it's a self-discovery. I do believe my cards will help you discover who you are on a deeper level. And it's another fun way to earn an additional income. Should that be something you're interested in participating in? I believe the rate on there is $222. Those of you who are watching, mention this show today, and you're going to receive $50 off that price. But you got to mention this show to get that. I will include the email in a minute. The other course that I'm offering, which is not a course, it's actually a membership. It's a 6-month membership to the Magical Moon Ritual Ceremony, which actually starts next week for our new moon on December 13th, I believe. And that monthly membership, the total of it is $333. And again, mention this show today and get $50 off that as well. You can email healingwithin76@gmail.com for all the information. And for additional services, you can go and check out my website at www.holisticwithawfitnessny.com. With that being said, I look forward to seeing all of you next week. Have yourself an awesome day. Till next time. Bye-bye.